Hello everyone, Shadefyre here, and welcome back to Let's Play You Are Empty. This is episode 17, and apparently this is a level called Roofs, which means my prediction that I was someday going to get shot off of a roof by a palace guard with a Mosin is probably going to come true here. Oh, what's this? A Mosin with a scope? And also the bayonet removed? So, did that replace our Mosin? No, it didn't. Okay, so this is another situation like cryostasis, in which we have two versions of the same gun that use the same ammo, but one has a scope. Still, that'll probably come in handy here. If I can figure out which key it is. It is number 9. Alright, so last time we made our way through a opera house. I don't know if that's supposed to be the Bolshoi, now that I've figured out that we are in fact in Moscow, and that is in fact the Red Star of the Kremlin in the distance. Which is something I was kind of unsure about until that Metro episode, and even then it was only after I, looked up what the stations were to make sure they were in the Moscow Metro. Having some trouble there, are you? I'm pretty sure if I get close enough, he'll do his leaping attack. No, just gonna do the awkward shuffle step. I feel like it's kind of hard for them to justify why there are a bunch of enemies on the rooftops, or at least specifically these kinds of enemies. I mean, it'll make sense if we fight some of those welder guys, the flying welder guys, because, obviously they have a helicopter attached to them, and I guess the palace guards would make sense since they're like snipers, and maybe some of the Red Army, but the rest of the enemies don't really make sense up here, especially if you run into like a patient, or a mental retard, as they're called. Is this the right way to go? Yes, it is. Alright, stick close to the ledge. This shuddering walk that we have. An actual car. Alright, bye. Looks like somebody's still driving around. So some palace guards there. It seems like they're having a bit of a shudder step too. But yeah, the shuddering step makes it kind of hard to precision slide along ledges like this. See now, if I had a Molotov, this would actually be a really good place to drop it. Pretty dramatic music. So I wonder if the relay we're trying to get to is in fact in the Kremlin, or if it's just some other big tower thing. I mean, the Kremlin isn't exactly a radio tower, but you could hide something in there. It's like in Metro, where the Red Star is a psychic beacon that draws people in, so that the giant blob living under the Kremlin can consume them. Shame that wasn't in the game. I mean, the giant blob was, but the mind-altering Red Star was not. Oh, is that going to be another NPC? Somebody sighing? Or is that a nurse? That's a nurse. When's the last time we saw one of those? I think there was one level that had, like, a soul nurse. Or if I can sneak up on her. Was she... just collapsed. Was she trying to operate there, or did she stab him to death? Or, I guess, claw him to death with her little flailing slaps. And there's a dog down there, and a mountain man. Oh, there's a ladder here. So yeah, there's really no concept of stealth here. It's just as soon as you get close enough, it triggers them. This is a good spot for the sniper. Because, I mean, it seems like this gun is 100% accurate. It goes exactly in the middle every time. There we go, some Molotovs. So, giving this thing a scope seems to make it way more powerful. Because, I mean, the only downside with the Mosin is trying to shoot something far away you couldn't actually see what you were shooting at, since there was no iron sights. I remember, was it a Mosin that we had in cryostasis as well? I believe it was, since it was all Russian weaponry. And there aren't that many Russian bolt-action rifles. I guess it could have been an SKS as well. Alright, another ledge. Squeeze along here. Not nearly as much precarious situations here where we're being shot at as I expected, but, you know, we did just start. So, is that where we're going? Again, this is one of those sections of the game where it's not completely clear where we're going. I mean, we have a destination, but it's not like they told us where the relay was. Oh, here we go. Here's a spot where we're being sniped at. Though there's a safety railing, so that kind of defeats the being knocked off the edge thing. It's not going to knock us forward. Oh right, I almost forgot we had that lightning gun. Which, again, not super useful, it seems. Might actually be decent in this level since we have range. We don't have to worry about splashing myself to death. I saw a second guy. We're actually sort of close to the end, but there's still like 5 or 6 more levels. We still haven't found out what the growing up boy-man from the animated cutscenes has to do with this. I mean, I'm pretty sure I know what it has to do with it, just by guessing, but, you know, they haven't really mentioned him at all. My guess is that he is the core of the mind-altering device, since he is apparently psychic, based on those cutscenes. And thus he'll be like all plugged into the machine and we'll have to kill him to shut it down. Oh, there's a lightning man. They're kind of crickety with the way they run really quick on their... Oh, he's missing some toes too. Or a toe. I wonder if that was just a toversight on their part when they were making this. Some lightning ammo, some more health. Still no shortage of health. You'd think that with the difficulty ramping up, they'd give you less, but aside from the second metro level, I think, was the one where I almost died a lot. Maybe it was the opera level. I feel like I haven't had super amounts of trouble with any of the combat here. Can we actually just... Nope, nope. There's probably no reason to do this. Right, forgot about how bad the fall damage is. So let's not do any more silly platforming escapades like that. The new receiver is working fine. Following advice, I went up to the roofs. It should be roofs, shouldn't it? Roofs, trying to find a place with minimal jamming, and I occasionally intercepted a message. It dealt with the launch of an underground power plant. They said about unforeseen difficulties, regardless of which some experiment would still take place. I guess they were prepared to face unforeseen consequences. Well, there was a patient in that room. Oh, maybe not. It sounded like he just gunned one down. I think that's the Soviet anthem we intercepted over there. No. Never mind, I guess we're not going that way. Am I supposed to walk on these wires? Alright, this totally makes sense, right? These tiny little electrical wires that we're somehow balancing on. This seems like a good place for a quick save. I'm trying to hit X to sprint across here. You can tell what game I've been playing recently. Oh shit! The roof is slippery! Oh, fuck you. I will say that as somebody who owns a gas mask like that, one of the ones with the tube hoses, that is pretty much what you sound like breathing in one of those. And they don't really have anything to let you talk normally, so you just come out like... Is there another one, or did he, like, shoot the ceiling as he died? Man, just folded right up. Got quite a variety of enemies in this level. No rats yet, though. So, this game has managed to be decently weird, which is, you know, nice. This is kind of what you hope for from a weird Russian game. But I feel like it's not nearly quirky enough. I might have mentioned this in another episode, but yeah, it's just lacking a little bit on the quirk side. It's just sort of like, here's these kind of interesting enemies, and here's this kind of interesting cutscenes, and here's this just kind of general go here, shoot thing gameplay. We haven't even really done much in the way of puzzles, aside from go over here and get a key so you can go back here and open a door. But yeah, that's really the downside to this, I think. There's parts of this I enjoy, but it's just too much of, hey, just shoot some guys. We showed you our enemies, now just, gun them down. Anyhow, I've been Shadefyre, and I will see you next time.